No, I just dumped it. I gotta have coffee.
You really don't.
I do though. So this is probably one of the best harvest hosts we've stayed at so far.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's out in the middle of nowhere, which is always nice.
Yep.
Nice and cool here right now in the middle of August, which is nice.
Willamette Valley, right? So
I think we're at the north end of the Willamette Valley.
Yeah, their website mentioned Willamette, so it's definitely part of it.
It's just really, really idyllic and nice. And we're gonna walk down this road here while we do this review, but when I turn around and we walk the other way, because we don't want to get onto their home, the owners who live here, you're gonna see that we're just right next to the vineyard, which is great. And we're in this like rolling hills. So, but we'll get to that.
So this is Bennett Vineyards. I just had to look it up because I couldn't remember. We've stayed at so many wineries in the last couple of weeks that they kind of start running together in your head, but this one will be memorable because of the beautiful scenery for sure. So the first thing is the goods for sale, what they have, what the variety is, how much it costs, all that kind of stuff. And we rated this a 4 out of 5. And that's mostly because the variety wasn't like, there wasn't a huge variety of things. However, they do one of the best Pinot Noirs that I have had in a long time.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It was the 2015 particular that we got last night, and oh my gosh.
Their estate Pinot.
Yeah, so good. In fact, we bought a second bottle to have for sometime in the future because it was so good.
That's one thing I like about these harvest hosts, and I almost want to start buying. I mean, we'll sample whatever, but I almost want to start buying for our, you know, our collection, the estate ones, because I love staying where the fruit was harvested. Yeah,
it's very cool. And have a story behind that wine every time you go to drink it.
Yeah. So, and we're not gonna, you can see up behind me here, they've got a gate there. It's open, but you know, we're respecting their privacy. They live on property.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
All right, so the next thing is the site, and that would be how level, how accessible, you know, how it was getting in and out. And we gave this a 4 again, I think mostly because of where it is.
I mean, we've got 36 feet plus a tow car, so we're probably closer to 50 feet total. And because of something we'll talk about later, there were a ton of cars here.
Yeah.
Made it a little difficult to make one of the turns to get back to where we're at. And then there's a huge field, but you know, obviously I wanted to turn around, so, because you're gonna have to turn around eventually. And making that turn with the tow car on was a little bit rough. Getting level took us a few tries, but
that wasn't the fault of the...
Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there.
It might have been because the ground was super soft, but our jacks were struggling just a little bit, but
yeah,
but we got it done.
But either way, it's only got a 4 because it's not just a super easy in and out.
Yeah.
Like we had to disconnect the car.
Yeah.
After we stopped.
And I think I would recommend to anybody with a tow car to just go ahead and disconnect it up in the front where you've got a nice gravel parking area to do it in rather than doing it back here.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, because you have to cross a bridge.
And the bridge scared me a little bit because we're close to 26,000 pounds.
Yeah.
And we have the car, but it's a concrete bridge, and he said to cross it.
Yeah. So
and I do notice up at their house they've got their own Class A. Yeah. So they've been across that bridge and that thing before too.
It's kind of funny when you're just looking at the bridge. It kind of looks like a footpath kind of bridge, but when you get up to it, it's like a solid concrete thing.
It looks wooden.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was concrete until we got closer to it.
Yeah. Okay, so next thing, wildlife, scenery, and activities. Now we gave that a solid 5. This place, it's amazing. It's beautiful. There's no wildlife, so you know, scratch that off your list. At least not this time of year.
Right.
But scenery-wise, gorgeous. I mean, look at these vineyards behind us. It's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And I love vineyards on a hill too. Like that's my, you know, because vineyards can be really flat, like in Central California. But these are solid.
Rolling Hills vineyards are the best.
Yeah.
They're the gold standard.
Yeah, for sure. In our book anyway. But then the other thing that gave this a total 5 is last night they had live music at their location, and we just brought our chairs over and set up. Oh, they had a food truck there, which is great because like
barbecue.
You just don't want to cook after a long day of driving, which is what yesterday was for us. So
well, not only that, but this Bone Daddy barbecue or whatever, we got like the piggy boat, which was
mac and cheese.
Yeah, slow roasted pork over mac and cheese, and then with a Carolina sauce.
Oh, okay,
and then,
but like I'm from North Carolina, it's not It wasn't a it was
whatever.
delicious.
They
It wasn't
called
an
it-
actual Carolina sauce.
They
but
called
go
it
on.
Carolina.
They can call it that, but
the
wasn't.
other two sauces were plain barbecue, like regular barbecue, which we probably should have got, and then like a mango habanero.
Ooh,
But that could go
that can be
sideways
good
in
or
a hurry.
bad. Yeah.
Anyway, and then 2 sliders with 2 additional sides.
Yeah.
And
Good.
we just shared it, but the total price for that was like $20.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how cheap it was.
Very reasonable. So we got that, and then we got a bottle of wine. Enjoyed the music. The band was I think it's like a local Eugene band called Rifle.
Yeah.
Seems like they are kind of known in the music scene around here anyway. Just a bunch of older gentlemen who put on a good show. Anyway, yeah, that was definitely a 5 out of 5 for that. Connectivity. We decided to give this a 3. We have AT&T for our phones, and while it might show a bar or 2 of service,
Totally
it's unusable. So don't even expect that. There's no Wi-Fi naturally, not even up at the winery.
House.
I don't think there was.
Yeah.
And then we did turn our Wi-Fi on briefly
For Verizon.
for Verizon, and while it would have worked, it didn't for us because we are out of data for the month.
Yeah,
So.
once I mean, it still had a full signal though.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I've got the little MIMO extender antenna I've mentioned before, and that gave us almost a full signal of LTE. So
Yeah.
I imagine it would work if you had Verizon. Didn't try any other networks.
Yep. And then the last category is availability, and we gave this a 5 because it's wide open, and I don't see why they would need to limit the number of people who want to stay here. I think they have 5 listed on Harvest Host, so maybe they just don't want more than 5 people here.
Right.
But there's tons of space, and I'm sure that if you gave them a call, you would be able to stay here because there's no reason why not.
The only thing that might limit it is there were probably 40 cars in their closer in parking lot.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't believe how many people were here when we pulled up.
Yeah.
Especially in COVID times.
Yeah.
And people were wearing masks inside for the tasting. They were wearing masks in line for the food truck, but literally nowhere else. Now out in the field,
spread out. They had
Yeah.
purposely spread everybody out.
right, there was a
6
lot of
feet.
space there, but
Yeah.
I would imagine if we're talking about normal regular times that this place probably gets pretty crowded.
Yeah.
To get a crowd like that in this day and age is amazing. To get I would imagine that this would really fill up, and there's probably people with camper trailers and things that would like to come here for the food truck and the like
event.
locals that would come
Yeah.
here that they know and just take up some of those Harvest House spaces.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
that could affect availability, but that being said, we still rated it high because there's a ton of space.
Yeah, it's great. And it definitely seems like they have this area back here set aside for Harvest Host.
Yeah.
So, and it's a big space, so. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, okay, well that gives them a total of 21 out of 25.
It's pretty
We clearly really like this place and highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's only a little lower because of some of the things we require, like connectivity and things like that.
Yeah, but that's just for us. If you are off the grid completely, then this is a great spot. Even if you're not, it's still a great spot.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yep.
All right. Highly recommended. Go check it out.
Yeah.